In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about everyone being dead, creating a horror movie nightmare for the fun of it, how we would join the Jay Kristoff cult, seeing a villain origin story for a horse develop, being concerned by veiny members and tiny buns, and insisting we make vampires evil again in our discussion of Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff.
Today we're going to get fucked in the face by Jay Kristoff.
He's going to fuck us up, he's going to stomp us into the ground, he's going to throw us from a parapet, and then he's probably going to piss on our remains.
Probably so. Standard disclaimer.
There will be swearing.
Lots of it. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Actually do both, because they're both very great. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up. Or if you're just listening to this to prepare yourself for book 3.
Yeah.
Also fun. And also go back and listen to our Empire of the Vampire.
And the Jay Kristoff interview.
Yes. Oh, that was
He's
something.
So nice.
Yeah, he really is.
I genuinely believe the nicer the person, the more they'll fuck up the characters.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Right, this is going to be a long one, because it's like 1,000 pages, the book.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 32-hour audiobook at normal speed, let's just say that.
My Audible version has extra bits, and it was 38 hours. And I didn't realize, because this book is shorter than the first one, and I was like, oh, it's only going to be 20 hours long. No, fuck it. 38 hours. So
I listened to the library version, and that was 32 hours with a little bit of extras at the end, about an hour's worth of extras at the end. But still, this is a book which I would classify as a commitment.
It is a commitment, yes.
So this is going to be an episode that requires commitment, because it's going to be possibly a little bit longer than normal. Yeah. So let's just dive straight in, give us some background information, and then we'll get on with it.
Unfortunately, even though we were talking about, wanting things to be shorter, but it's going to be long, I have 2 pieces of background information, which just makes it even longer.
That's fine. I'm going to play with my fangs. You speak.
Thank you. Cool. So the first bit is from Harper Reach, and Jay Kristoff says, my main goal in writing the series was to make vampires evil again, and then I swooned.
Make vampires evil again! Yay!
Oh, can we get that?
I can get behind.
Can we get that on an Ugly Red Hat?
And anything better than what actually exists on the current Ugly Red Hat.
Make vampires evil again. I feel like it needs to happen. And you know what? I have the power to do it, but it won't be a red hat, I don't think. I don't think Redbubble does red hats. But you know what? It's going to be good enough. Anyway, they've been interpreted 100 ways over the years, become brooding anti-heroes and love interests, which is all fine. The wonderful thing about them is they can be different things to different people. But I wanted to bring them back to the days when they were monsters to be feared, evil to be fought, a cautionary tale about the price tag of forever.
Still, I'm sorry. It's still hot.
Yeah. And then there was also an interview with Grimdark magazine, and they asked, is no horse safe in Empire of the Damned?
Short answer.
Yes. Will everyone please recall in book 1 where they tauntauned inside of a horse? And that is also brought up again in this one. I was inside a horse at that time. My
check
tooth just
out
fell
Jay
out.
Kristoff's social media, because whenever the new books come out, he asks people to send the memes in, and he has like a horse special.
Yeah. So the question continues, is this your way of disposing of all the ponies you demand from your readers asking you silly questions? And he says, it's strange to think that horse turned out to be the most dangerous occupation in a medieval vampire apocalypse. Funny thing is, I actually like horses in real life. The way I write them, anyone would think a gelding murdered my parents in a mugging gone wrong when I was a kid.
But he doesn't say that didn't happen.
Right. He does not say that that did not happen, so...
That could be his villain origin story.
Could be. What are your initial thoughts about this one?
Fuck my face.
Indeed. I cannot believe that we waited so long to read this one.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think actually the book challenge theme was in part inspired by Vampire the Damned, because it's not... A picture speaks 1,000 words, and the illustrations inside this book really do. So as much as I absolutely adored the audiobook, and these are ones where I do listen and read at the same time, because it just makes it so much more immersive.
Yes.
You need the pictures as well. The pictures are amazing.
Yeah. See, I listened to the whole thing, and then I went back and drooled over every single page. And so I would listen to a part of it, and then I would find where I stopped in the text and then go back and look at all the pictures. So
I was in bed reading it the other night, and I turned the page and it was a double page spread.
Yeah.
And I audibly gasped.
Oh, so beautiful. Such beautiful artwork. Anyway, should we get started?
No, let's add at least another 20 minutes of conversation before we get into this behemoth of a book.
Okay.
No, do it!
Jean-Francois, the historian, wakes in a bed with two thrall lovers, Dario and Jasmine. He remembers Gabriel in his face, threatening his life, and uses that fiery passion to fuel his lovers. Unfortunately, a knock sounds at the door. It is Meline, another thrall, and she alerts him that he has been summoned by the Empress. The Empress, his maker, tells Jean-Francois that 3 of the Priori are coming to visit at her summons. She needs more of Gabriel's story and gives him a vial of red powder, Sanctus, sending him on his way.
Gabriel is moved from his cell and given back his clothes, freshly washed, and he had been washed as well, which, given the story, makes a change.
It does. He's very... I feel like he's a smelly.
It's pointed out a few times as well.
It is.
It's been 6 days since he's been tortured, and he knows better to believe that he's earning his freedom, only assuming his captor will begin the torture anew. Jean-Francois shaves the Silver Saint and tells him that his mother, the Empress, needs more of Gabriel's story. She needs to know about the Grail and how it was broken, to know how the Ferrera King met his end. Gabriel toys with a moth trapped in the room with them, and begins his tale again. When you know, you know.
Gabriel's story picks up where he left us at the end of book 1. For full details, please listen to that episode and check out our summary. It's very long. He has just rescued Dior from being sacrificed to end Day's death, which would not have even worked according to Celine, Gabriel's little sister, or Lythe as we know her also. Gabriel finds his broken sword Ash Drinker, and he and Dior leave the sacrificial chamber filled with everyone else's blood. Dior worries that they should have gone through with her sacrifice, but Gabriel stops that thinking immediately. No.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
No.
Gabriel and Dor find Leanthe outside. Gabriel's worried about having drunk Leanthe's blood, even though it makes very powerful, because he does not want to become her thrall, and will only take 3 times drinking it for that to happen. Gabriel asks his sister about her vampiric abilities, and that she has sanguimancy like him, even though her maker was a different vampire. Lore. Leanthe explains she studied under an ancient vampire called Wulfric, and that her powers came from him, and that they are Esana, which is a group of people, not just one vampire maker. There is a place that they can go that is a few weeks' journey into the mountains, where they can find more information about how to end Day's death without killing Dior. And then she attacks.
Leanthe tries to kill Gabriel, obviously, so she can take Dior and end Day's death. But Gabriel does not want to fight back. He really doesn't want to fight his little sister, even though she's a horrendously scary, blood-puddling vampire now. And Amanda swoons.
Blood-puddling.
She can become a blood puddle, okay?
I know, but that's just funny. Make vampires evil again. Puddle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Dior comes to his rescue after having been knocked aside. Blood falling from her nose, she wipes it on her blade and holds it to Leanthe's neck. Dior's blood has the power to kill ancient vampires, so it'll kill her too. They all must go together to find out how to end Day's death, even though Leanthe says Gabriel will kill them all.
That's just sister.
Yeah.
That's just what a sister's going to say.
Yeah.
They continue travelling, mostly Gabriel and Dior together, with Leanthe out stalking and keeping watch for attackers. Gabriel trains Dior on the vampire family lines and powers, and also trains her to fight. They come upon an injured wanderer who happens to be another Silver Saint, Lachlan, and he tells them that he passed by the home of Aaron and Baptiste. Oh, we love Aaron and Baptiste. Please see book 1. We love them. But it's been burned down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Dior wants to go help them, but Gabriel insists that they continue on. Of course they go to help them.
Of course. The village is a fiery ruin, but there are hordes of wretched, mindless vampires and some thralls there, plus 3 high vampires, Chiara, Cain, and Ricard Divock. The bloodline of strength, more or less. Gabriel thought he killed Chiara several years ago, but she's still alive. Still up to the same thing that Gabriel nearly killed her for once already. Trapping children in cages for food. Make vampires evil again.
So she's just a supermarket supplier.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Vampires need groceries too.
Yeah. Gabriel and Lachlan begin to fight, sending Dior away for her protection, but things go south when the cage full of children is dragged onto an icy river. Dior goes to help them, and of course the vampires want to eat her, but Gabriel can't get there in time. Luckily, Leanthe shows up.
Aha. There's a great battle, and then Leanthe removes her mask and drains one of the vampires dry, turning him to dust. Gabriel swears he sees her mangled face, normally concealed behind the mask, mending, which is... it's fucking odd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Battle ended, attentions turned back to the children trapped on the ice. Dior still trying to save them by picking the lock on the cage. Gabriel rushes to the rescue and rips the door completely off, setting the children free. He sinks in the frozen river because of course he fucking does, but he is dragged out of the water by a lion. It's not just any lion though. This is Phoebe, who we all thought died violently in book 1, but she's still here. Yay!
Yay!
It turns out she is a wildling, a dusk dancer, and can shift her form into a lion. And she swears her life to Gabriel and Dior. Take my fangs out so I can say Leanthe's name properly.
It's fine. It's worth it. I'm pretty sure mine are going to fall out at any moment. So,
I'll put them back in for the discussion, but I've had to take them out just to say certain words properly.
Fine. Lythe insists that they continue on to Cairnham to see Genoa. But Dior is concerned about all the children that they just rescued, and she and Gabriel are curious about Aaron and Baptiste. But they're likely dead, at least according to the children. They stop to rest for the night, Gabriel assuring the children he will keep them safe. As they rest, Gabriel sees his wife and daughter in the shadows, calling to him. They're dead. They're dead. Everyone.
So very,
dead.
very long dead. They are not doing a Phoebe. They are not coming back.
No, they're dead.
No,
dead.
They're dead.
Dead.
Dead. Dead.
Dead. Dead.
Dead. Dead. Dead. Dead. Lachlan comes up, snapping Gabriel out of his desire to join them in the death, or, you know, wherever they are, because they are
dead.
Dead. Dead.
They're dead. They're dead.
Dead. Dead. Very dead. To question him about Dior, who had gone back to pretending she was a boy, but who is now currently menstruating. And, you know, all vampires and half vampires can definitely tell.
Yes, they can. It is not a secret.
No. When Gabriel is less than forthcoming about Dior and his terrifying vampire companion and what the hell is going on, they fight. But Lythe ends it. She insists she, Gabriel and Dior leave everyone behind and continue on their way. After a quick fight with a wretched that turns out to be likely controlled by a Voss vampire, seeing through the eyes of one of his own, they decide they need to move quickly. Lachlan takes the children back to Saint-Michon, Gabriel not telling him that he literally just murdered everyone there. And he, Dior, Lythe and Phoebe head west towards Cairnham.
As they travel up the cold, snowy mountain, Phoebe spots the Voss twins, Alba and Eline, rumored to be the first children of Danton Voss. In horror, the group rides hard and fast and finally arrives at Cairnham. Unfortunately, everyone there is dead. Wah wah.
Shocked face.
After playing dress-up in a fancy closet, Gabriel and Dior find Lythe crying in a chapel. It seems that her leader, Genoa, killed everyone and himself rather than wait for the Redeemer to come. That sounds like a cult. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's a cult, but it sounds like a cult.
That there is cult behavior. There'll be a podcast about it.
Yes, there will. So now she's here. So, fuck. The Redeemer is here right now. It's Dior.
Shit.
Fuck. Dior, fed up, yells at Lythe, and she finally tells the story of the Isana, her people.
The story is thus, more or less.
Less.
A lot less.
A lot less.
Please refer to the original text. Long ago, one vampire, Ilia, felt she was told by God to stop eating humans and to instead eat her fellows, draining them to dust, freeing them from their evil lives and redeeming them. Quite presumptive, but you know this is how these things start. She started, of course, with her lover, and in draining his blood she took on his vampire gift and claimed she could hear his voice inside her head. Many others joined her in saving eternal souls, and she called them her crusaders. Cult! Sorry.
What was that? Did you say it was a cult?
I said crusaders. It might have come out as cult.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, she referred to them as well as her Lythe.
Yeah, I think you add an extra syllable to that every time you say it.
Lythe.
I think that there was an N in it too in your first paragraph. You know
Probably.
What? Everyone knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Gabriel's sister. His angry sister with half a face. Anywho, Ilia, in her quest for redemption, chose to support the actual Redeemer, Asan, and the Redeemer's line all the way down to Dior, and they were then, she and her followers, known as the Asani. After the Leviathan.
Just say it however you want. It doesn't matter because you're going to say it different next time. Anyway.
I don't think I want to say it twice. I don't think I've said it twice the same way.
My teeth
I do want to put an N in there. I keep wanting to put an N in. Why isn't there an N?
I don't know, but I laughed my teeth out. Maybe I'm just going to set them aside.
Perfect. Yes. Leathe.
Just say it however you want.
I need an N.
Say it however you want. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, she finishes the tale. Lion Phoebe rushes in, alerting them that the Voss twins have found them and they are not alone.
Before the battle begins, Dior rests while Gabriel and Lyathe prepare. The siblings fight about where they should go next, where Dior should go next. And should we just start calling her Selene now? Instead of Lyathe, because that's her actual name.
Yeah, well, it depends if it's a collective or not.
You're right. Well, she insists on Dun Margen, because that's where Marin, the last warrior of the Asana, is entombed. But then Dior joins them. Gabriel explains a game like chess to her, explaining that she is the most important piece, and he, the Chevalier, is not. The battle begins, and it's horrible. They try a ploy to sneak Dior away, but it is foiled almost immediately. Phoebe comes to the rescue a few times while the vampires and the Silver Saint fight, but the battle ends when the bridge separating Cairnheim from the creatures is destroyed and Dior falls. Gabriel catches her, and then Lyathe catches him. Dior is able to climb up Gabriel to safety, and then Lyathe lets her brother fall.
Sibling behaviour.
After this, because obviously he survives, because he's telling the story right now, Gabriel does not see or hear anything of Dior for months.
Returning to Jean-Francois, he leaves the last Silver Saint. The historian's job is to collect the story of the Grail for the Empress. And well, Gabriel just said he didn't hear anything of Dior for months after his sister dropped him. So he is finished with Gabriel's story for now. Gabriel is shocked when he learns that Jean-Francois has someone else to learn the next part of the story from. His sister.
Yeah! Before the last Lyathe begins her tale, she makes sure to tell Jean-Francois that Gabriel loves nothing more than to hear himself talk, and that everything he says is a lie. Yay for unreliable narrators.
He was also adopted. And he smells like poo.
Their childhood was not as he said. Their mother wanted nothing more than for her daughter to wear dresses and learn to be a woman. Selene hated her mother and worshipped her father, the blacksmith, but that's because he treated her as she deserved to be treated, how she wanted to be treated. She starts her story where Gabriel left off.
Fighting with her sanguimancy, Selene, Lyathe, was able to destroy most of the vampires around her, or at least she thought. Then she had her arms ripped off and was set on fire by Chiara Divock. Jean-Francois wants to leave Selene here, because obviously she was not with Dior if she was armless and on fire, but Selene says she was not alone.
Armless and on fire. All right, well, thanks. That's a good part of the story. I'm going to go back upstairs
like a giant candle.
Dior, manacled, is carried off by the Divocks and their thralls, but Chiara says she is not to be harmed, so she's mostly left alone. That's good, because even though she's been divested of her armor, she still has her boots, and in them, her lockpicks. She's disgusted to learn that one of the thralls, Joaquin, is from Aaron and Baptiste's town, and he was the beloved of Isla, one of the group rescued from the cage on the frozen river. Dior tells the thrall that she knows where he can find his lover, but he refuses because he loves the vampires more. When she's left alone to sleep, Dior retrieves her lockpick, frees herself, and escapes.
She is caught some 11 hours later, and one of the thralls sent to retrieve her is killed by Chiara as he threatens to cut and fuck another hole into Dior. Charming. They were all told to keep Dior safe, and as she uses her blood to heal another of the thralls, one who was nicer to her and wanted to help her, Cain Divok questions how that happened. He reaches for her with a bloody stump of a hand, and as her blood kills vampires, he begins to burn. Chiara manages to keep Cain off Dior, again because they need to keep her alive.
After finding Dior's lockpicks, the group of vampires and thralls and Dior travel until they catch up to another group with people in cages near Saint-Guillaume, where Gabriel rescued her from her sacrifice. Dior recognizes some of these people. They are the ones she rescued from their cages, and then she spots Baptiste. Baptiste isn't dead. Oh, yay. Dior apologizes for Aaron, saying she knows what happened to him, but Baptiste questions how she could. She explains that Gabriel found his sword broken, so she knows he must be dead. Baptiste says he isn't dead. He's, I want to say undead, but that's not what he said. He's dead. He's dead with a capital D.
He is.
He's
dead,
a vampire.
Not dead.
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 Dead. Not dead. He's not
dead. He's dead. Not dead.
Not dead. Yes, exactly.
Unlike Gabriel's wife and child. They're dead.
Yeah, they're dead. Yeah. Dead. This is just one dead. Capital D dead.
As they travel to Dun again, which is conveniently where Celine wanted to go, remember, Baptiste tells her how Aaron was forced to become a vampire, and they hear and see each night they flare the skin marked with silver tattoos from his bones.
Nope.
Yikes.
Don't like that.
Dior tries to distract Baptiste by asking him to tell her how they fell in love. He says they did not fall, they plummeted. When they finally arrive, Chiara comes for Dior.
Chiara takes Dior to see her maker, Nikita, head of the Divok line, and his sister, Lily, which really fucked me over when I was reading it. And her name is spelled Lilidh.
Oh, every time my eyes tripped over it.
Yeah, it's horrible. Okay, so anyway, they're sitting upon thrones in a hall full of vampires, keeping wolves as pets.
Nice.
They all watch as two fight each other for sport, but then the battle ends as Chiara and Dior, followed by Cain, reach the thrones. They question what took them so long to return with their wagons full of food, and Chiara explains that while they were away this time, they fought and she defeated Gabriel de Leon. And she has returned with prizes, gesturing to a box they brought in.
I hope it's a stuffed animal. I like plushies.
It's not. It's not, though.
The first prize, drumroll, is Aaron DeCosta! Yay! Fledgling vampire, Silver Saint, who, as soon as his box is open, attacks Chiara. But though he has been turned into a vampire, the hatred he has for them still burns brightly. Nikita forces him to stop and then drink his blood. Aaron does so, and then Nikita breaks his neck, waiting to play with him later. Oh, no.
That's not fun.
No. Everyone in the crowd is pleased that Nikita Divok has added a new member to his bloodline, which makes Lily jealous. The second gift, then, Dior, must be for her. Chiara and Cain explain that her blood can heal people, but burns vampires, and so she forces one of her thralls to stab herself and watches in awe as Dior heals her. Lily then forces Dior to drink from her, and she does.
Oh, no. It only takes 3 times, everyone. No.
One.
Carried off to a cell, Dior begins to practice her fighting after forcing herself to vomit up the ancient vampire's blood, knowing it won't likely do any good, but, you gotta try anyway.
You gotta do your best.
Yeah. That is when she feels a tiny stirring in her shirt. She removes it to find a moth made of blood. Oh. Excellent!
That's why she knows what's going on.
That's how she knows what's going on. Here is where she reveals to Jean-Francois how she knew all of Dior's story, and he applauds her drama. Obviously, she can't speak as a moth, but she is able to answer questions from Dior that she does not know if Gabriel is alive or dead and does not know where he is, but that the rest of her body is not far away, armless and on fire. That's good, I guess. I mean, she's probably not on fire anymore.
Hey, Celine, did you kill your brother? No.
No. No. No, for sure. For sure did not do that.
Dior is forced into a bath and scrubbed by the thrall she healed called Worm. But then Nikita enters and joins her in the bath. When he puts his hands upon her, Dior demands he get away. He wants to bite her, knowing her blood might hurt, but curious about its taste. Lythe's moth looks on, hoping that the vampire will bite the child of the Redeemer. But Worm cuts in, wanting to keep Dior for her mistress Lilith. After a long time and an attack on Worm that Dior heals, Nikita lets Dior go. Worm dresses her in fine gowns and a wig and makeup and takes her to see Lilith. The vampire makes Dior drink her blood again, and Celine's moth watches on, worried about the possibility of her drinking again the next night for the third time. When they get back to the cell, Dior cries out for Gabriel, wishing he were there, asking Celine if she let him fall off the bridge. No, of course she didn't.
No, it's totes an accident.
He fell. Oopsies. She did not. In all the flutterings in her mouth, she did not do it.
No.
Dior knows she must escape, and Celine suggests the sewers. If only she had her lockpick. Dior pulls a pin from her hair, not needing a lockpick at all.
Unfortunately, Dior is caught not long after escaping and running into Baptiste, who has been thralled, and she's locked back in her cell. Wah, wah.
I was screaming, no, the entire time.
Aaron, meanwhile, is forced to please Nikita rather than see harm come to Baptiste. A puppet of Fabian Voss arrives then, demanding Dior, but then Lily makes her thrall. Oh, bink!
Oh, snap.
Selene watches on, horrified, wondering where her brother is.
Well, he's at the bottom of the bridge where you dropped him.
He's down there. He's... Ugh. It's fine.
Celine takes them out of the story then, threatening Jean-Francois, who gets angry with her attitude. I mean, she does have a bit of an attitude, to be fair.
I mean, with all the love of my heart, she's a bitch, but I love her.
She's a lovable bitch.
She's a lovable bitch. Hey, it's like a lovable asshole. Oh, we gotta come up with a new term. Can't be a lovable bitch. If it's a lovable asshole, we gotta come up with something else. Think about it.
Yeah. Celine quotes the prophecy at him. From holy cup comes holy light. The faithful hand sets world aright. And in the 7 martyrs' sight, mere man shall end his endless night. Jean-Francois tries to cut her off here, but she continues. Before the 5 come unto 1, with sainted blade, neath virgin sun, by sacred blood, or else none, this blackened veil shall be undone. Jean-Francois questions what this second half is, but Celine refuses to speak further, suggesting the historian go speak to her brother now instead.
What?
Oh my god, go do your research.
There's a second half of the prophecy.
There might even be a third, we don't know.
Oh my god, we don't know, because there's a whole nother book after this. Gabriel has called for Meline and is about to drink her blood. But then Jean-Francois is back, sitting in his interview chair like he never left. He calls for his other thrall, Dario, to bring more wine and Sanctus so they can begin Gabriel's story again. Gabriel looks to the moth and asks what lies his sister told, but Jean-Francois says only she preached to him rather than talking. She is kind of a religious zealot.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Gabriel's tale picks up with him being woken after having fallen from the bridge. Dropped from the bridge.
Yeah, he didn't fall, he was dropped.
Someone found and rescued him, and that someone is Phoebe! And she's wearing a ball gown. The only thing she could find in Gabriel's saddlebags, which brings up a million more questions than I think we'll ever get answered. Though, you know, it's probably because Dior thought Phoebe would look nice in it. Let's go with that.
No, I prefer to think that it's just Gabriel, like...
Gabriel wants to look pretty.
I'm going to wear that later.
He's allowed to. You wear what makes you feel good. The Dusk Dancer rescued Gabriel, and now they must try to find Dior. Luckily, Gabriel put a vial of his blood inside Dior's coat and can track it, and he realises that the Devox have her. The two will have to go to the city of Scarlet to get supplies so they can rescue her.
They arrive and manage to get inside the gates after Gabriel pretends he's a different Silver Saint and that he's captured Phoebe. The ruse gets them inside, and then they stop for a meal in a pub. Gabriel finds in his coat a golden vial, the same golden vial that the Devox drank from before destroying the bridge. Inside is blood, which Phoebe asks why he doesn't just drink it, but he doesn't want to become a bloodthirsty animal, which is not something you say to a woman that can literally turn into an animal. They are greeted by an old friend of Gabriel's, Fiona, the owner of the pub, who will help them with supplies. They talk about the capture of Dunmargen, and then Gabriel and Phoebe have a dance that makes Gabriel want to drain her blood sexually before going to bed.
Sexually. Gabriel wakes from a dream of Astrid, his dead wife.
Dead.
Very, very dead. Pleasuring him, only to find it wasn't a dream, and it was Phoebe atop him. Actual Phoebe. She thought after their dance that he was interested in her, and though they've both lost someone they love, there's no harm in finding warmth and companionship with someone new. Gabriel tries to apologise, and Phoebe does too. It's awkward. But then he says that he should not have confused Phoebe for Astrid, who comes to him sweet and fair and fine and very dead. And a slight that he did not intend. She storms off from the room. I mean, it's understandable, but also, he was asleep. It's problematic.
It is a little bit. But she apologizes for it. I mean, she misread the situation, and
the entire thing was awkward and misread, and
And he did want to drain her blood sexually.
He wanted sexual blood draining.
Yeah.
And then he wanted something else draining, which she did.
But that did happen. That happened, everyone. That happened.
Yeah.
Fiona gives Gabriel a horse and sends him on his way, a little shocked that Phoebe left because they seemed like an old married couple. Not long after he begins his journey, Gabriel is attacked by Lachlan, who calls him a traitor and steals Ash Drinker from him.
Rude.
He's now traveling with some younger Silver Saints and a woman from the Inquisition, one of those crazy religious people who were going to sacrifice Dior. Gabriel tries to explain why he killed everyone to rescue Dior, but they gag him instead. They travel for weeks toward Augustine for Gabriel to hang for his crimes, and he warns them not to go that way, but eventually they're all picked off in the night, a stick effigy left behind for each person. Eventually, the killer is revealed to be Phoebe.
Yay! I literally fell in love with Phoebe in this one. I was like, she is the horror monster of my dreams.
Oh, God. I love it, though. She's like, yeah, I just did it just to fuck with them. It's great.
I love the fact that she did that for the drama and the lols.
So good. She's
honestly,
so good.
it was like Blair Witch meets... It was just amazing. She's got such panache.
Oh, she's so good.
Oh, I love Phoebe. After they're reunited, killing almost everyone except Lachlan, Gabriel and Phoebe apologise to each other for the last night they were together, but they both have empty places in their hearts where loved ones once were.
Oh.
Phoebe tells Gabriel about her husband, a betrothal that she came to love, and that the child she lost in grief when he died. They really aren't different, after all.
No, her poor husband. Her poor husband and her poor child, which is exactly what Gabriel has. Poor dead wife. Poor dead child.
Dead wife.
Dead wife.
Dead child. Dead husband. Dead little child.
Yes.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. Gabriel and Phoebe travel together, chasing the trail of Dior's blood, but then they spot an army of wretched marching toward Dunmargen, which can't be good, especially if that's where Dior is being held. Phoebe is curious about them working together, but Gabriel explains that they will all be controlled by Fabian Voss, which is why he's so dangerous, because he has a literal army of fucking monsters. Things get worse when they're hit by a storm and have to stop in their path to find Dior, even though he lost that trail anyway. Whoopsies. They seek shelter in a ruined keep and find each other again sexually. This time, Phoebe promising not to touch Gabriel, but letting him touch her instead. Ooh. Just as they are about to take things further, they hear someone approaching. Jean-Francois is upset at this break in the tale, but you know, if we're being honest, Gabriel and Phoebe were probably more upset.
Oh, 100%. It's like, damn it! Oh, it's Lachlan and the rest of the group that Gabriel and Phoebe didn't kill. They've arrived. And they shoot Phoebe in the chest with a silver bullet, the assholes.
No.
Which is poisonous for a dusk dancer.
Fuck.
Exactly. Gabriel beats the absolute shit out of everyone and tells Lachlan the truth about Dior, that she is the Holy Grail and the last hope of salvation for everyone, so stop fucking killing my friends! And me!
Stop it.
Stop it! Stop it, Lachlan! He explains that all the people he killed were trying to sacrifice Dior, and that he's not a traitor, like Lachlan thinks he is. He takes Ashdrinker back from the bastard and leaves him alive, and rushes to Phoebe, trying to get the silver out of her chest. But he's unable to reach it.
No.
Phoebe calls out, apologising to her Aunt Sina, who keeps the peace and is also a seer. And Gabriel realises she might actually be able to help her. Even though the Dusk Dancers will definitely, 100%, try to kill Gabriel, he has to try to save Phoebe. So, they rush away from Dior and to the Highlands.
Of course, the journey is not easy, and as they travel into a forest of horrors, Ashdrinker tells Gabriel, because remember, Ashdrinker can talk and she's fucking hilarious. Ashdrinker tells Gabriel that Astrid, his dead wife, would not want him to be lonely and celibate for the rest of his life, and that it's okay to love Phoebe too. Soon, though, Gabriel is surrounded by owls and is then attacked by a bear.
Of course.
No, because of course he is. So, yeah, that's a Dusk Dancer. And after breaking the bear's jaw, the Dusk Dancers reveal themselves in their human forms, threatening to kill Gabriel. He introduces himself and says he's there to save one of their kin. So could you please stop trying to kill me, for fuck's sake?
Nothing is going to stop trying to kill you, Gabriel, and Leon for 5 minutes.
No.
You have to be constantly hunted.
Yes.
The Dusk Dancers take Phoebe to her Aunt Sina and put Gabriel in an open cell to wait. Thank goodness Phoebe comes to him the next day, not quite in perfect health, but alive and close to it. Aunt Sina is thankful to Gabriel for fighting for Phoebe, and having learned some of their story from Phoebe, says that they will be able to speak before the Dusk Dancer clans, seeking help to rescue Dior. But she warns that it will be difficult because they have brokered a deal with Lilith to keep the vampires from their lands.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, it's always something.
Phoebe and Gabriel tell their tale to the clans of the Highlands, that they have found the Grail, that she is being held against her will by the Divox, and that the only way they can save her is to take her. Everyone is in an uproar at this because the Divox have kept their promise to keep the vampires away. Phoebe doesn't think they have any hope of convincing any clans to fight with them.
In Gabriel's room later, Phoebe comes to him. They need to figure out a plan to save Dior without the help of the Dusk Dancers, but instead of working that out, they have sex instead.
It's about time.
Finally succumbing to each other's wiles. In the throes of passion, Phoebe convinces Gabriel to drink her blood, and, well, you know, he gets carried away, which is, of course, when Brienne the bear comes into the room. She sees the blood and attacks, but full of Phoebe's blood, Gabriel is much stronger. Many Dusk Dancers try to fight, and Gabriel takes them all on until Phoebe yells at them to hold. She has the golden vial that Dior gave to Gabriel, the one of the Divox has. Phoebe realises that the blood in the vial was Dusk Dancer blood, meaning the Divox have betrayed them and have been traitors for who knows how long.
Forever. The whole time.
The whole time. The other Dusk Dancers listen and know they will go to war. Oh, it's like Lord of the Rings at this point. I'm very
excited. Good. It's so good. Before Gabriel can continue his story, Jean-Francois interrupts, insisting he go back and speak with Selene again, afraid that the siblings' stories are about to intertwine. As he leaves, Gabriel looks at the moth and tells Jean-Francois he is thirsty, but likely not for wine, as he has drunk 3 bottles in the telling of his tale. Jean-Francois sends Meline in as he goes to see the last Lythe again. She tells him he's brave to leave one of his own with Gabriel, but Jean-Francois seems to have no fear of what Gabriel might do. I mean, he's probably not going to eat anybody.
No, I mean, it's Gabriel. He's a bastard, but he's not a dickhead, you know?
Yeah.
Selene begins her story again, picking up with her moth watching on as Dior wakes with Lilith, thralled to the high-born vampire. The rest of Selene's body has very nearly arrived at Dunmergen. God, that's a good sentence. She is depressed as she watches Dior fawn off the vampire, trying to figure out just what to do. But then the vampire leaves, and Dior begins immediately practicing her sword steps again. The worm sneaks into the room through a secret passage, ready to stab Dior, but she stops her. Worm realises Dior is not thralled, and Dior says Worm isn't either, and it must be because of her blood. Yay! The thrall that she healed along the journey to Dunmergen is also fine and pretending.
That's Joaquin, right? That's Joaquin, right?
It's Joaquin, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Worm and Dior work on a plan to use Dior's blood put into a vial from a cut on her foot to heal everyone and rescue her people. For Worm is Rain, the proper ruler of Dunmergen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, she's not just a servant.
Dior uses her status as thrall to Lily and walks straight outside to where the young man, Joaquin, she saved along the way, is, still pretending to be thralled because he wants to save his beloved, Isla, one of the girls that Dior rescued from the cage on the ice. Dior tells him who she is and what she can do and that she'll need his help. Then she goes back inside to see Rain. Rain takes Dior through secret passages to the chapel, obviously a safe place where vampires cannot go. Selene's moth can cross over that threshold. Rain and Dior speak to the unthralled gathered there, and Dior fills another vial so they can continue saving others. As she and Rain are alone and Dior starts to burn her foot wound closed, which is also a great sentence, they notice that her blood moves on its own, which is very weird.
Yeah, my blood doesn't do that. Does your blood do that?
No.
No.
No. Selene sees too, from the little threshold over there. And then she sees symbols of the Asana on the walls behind them and images of the Grail.
Oh.
What is happening?
Oh. More time passes and Selene still doesn't understand why Dior's blood reacted as it did. But she lets the girl know that the rest of her is almost healed enough to help. Yay!
Yay!
She's probably just got stumpy hands now.
She probably does, yeah.
Nikita is summoned outside during dinner one evening and everyone follows except Lily and her enthralled thralls who think this is the perfect time to strike her down, but they bide their time. Outside, everyone is shocked to see the army of dusk dancers approaching, and Dior sees Gabriel, but has to pretend really that she doesn't care since she's supposed to be thralled.
Nikita calls out in welcome to Gabriel and the dusk dancers, but he is upset because Kiara said she killed Gabriel. He shames her, and even though she says she loves him, he doesn't care. Then he starts hurling parts of the battlement at the approaching army, and they retreat for now. Dior and Rain discuss what their next steps are going to be because they're ready for a full-on war, and Dior doesn't want innocent people to die. But that's what happens in war, unfortunately. Dior is not ready for her time to end with Rain either, and caresses her hand, but they've no time for that now. Maybe one day, though.
Maybe a quick smooch.
Just a quick
Selene, her body healed, goes to see Gabriel, requesting on Dior's behalf that they hold off their attack for just one day so she can enthrall as many people as she can so they are not forced into battle unwillingly. Gabriel and Phoebe and the rest of the dusk dancers agree to hold their line. While they are talking, one of the lower Devok vampires is brought in, arms missing. I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah, just rip off everybody's arms.
To tell them that Nikita is planning to join forces with the Voss vampires and turn Dior over to them. But the Voss wretched are still a few days away. Gabriel insists that Selene stay with them until it's time for their attack.
Selene's moth, sitting at the threshold to the chapel, unable to pass, sees Dior and her freed thralls making plans to kill Nikita and Lily at the same time when the vampires sleep. But that will be nearly impossible without some sort of weapon, preferably silver, coated in Dior's blood. They look up to see the statue of the Redeemer, made of silver, holding silver blades. They try to remove them from the statue, but can't, though in doing so, it seems that they've opened a secret passage.
Oh.
Dior and Rain and several others go down into the passage and come back up looking horrified. Dior leaves, angry, to acquire a saw, brushing Selene's moth aside. She's pissed. She's pissed right now.
Selene and Gabriel talk through the night, Selene telling Gabriel her story, how she loved him so much and hated him for leaving her behind, how he was able to explore and she was meant to get married and start a family, how he killed Law, the vampire that ripped her face off when she wanted to do that, Law, the vampire that killed the boy that was about to propose to her, even though she did not want to get married, right before ripping apart her face. Gabriel didn't know anything that his sister was dealing with when she was younger. Then she mentions meeting her first vampire, which Gabriel thought was their older sister. But no, it wasn't. Selene met Gabriel's father before that.
Shit.
Oh. Damn.
Dior goes out to the blacksmith's and gets a saw. But when she returns, her foot is bloody again, though there's no time for any of that now. Rain tells her that Nikita is going to give a speech and wants Dior to be there. It's possible he's gonna show her off in front of the Voss, or to inspire people to fight. They share a tender moment after Dior tells Rain her mother's a cunt for ignoring her as a child because she was born from a man that was not her first husband. Rain gets upset, props because you called her mom a cunt, but Dior tells her that she's worthy even though her mother treated her like shit.
Even though her mother is
a cunt. They kiss. Then Dior is sent off to Nikita.
Celine tells Gabriel of meeting his father. Gabriel got very sick when he was young and nearly died. One night Celine watched as their mother threw what looked like a ruby into the fire, but now she knows it was blood. And a few nights later a cat showed up, leading their mother to Gabriel's father. Celine followed. Their mother begged for Gabriel's father to save his son, but chose not to, until that Celine stepped from the shadows with a knife to his cat, prepared to kill it if he would not help. He nearly killed Celine then, but realised she had the same spark that her mother had, and bleeds into a cup for Gabriel to drink from. Celine tells Gabriel that, after Law killed her, she went searching for his father, called Wulfric, so he would teach her the ways of the Asana.
Does everyone remember that mention of Wulfric earlier?
Did.
Nikita knows that Dior is not thralled and has been unthralling everyone left and right. He knows this because the girl she saved from the river, Isla, swore herself to Nikita and has been helping him all along for the promise of eternal life that she's prob's not gonna get. Many of Lilith's unthralled were made to stab each other, and as Lilith begs for Nikita to stop forcing them to stab each other, her wolf, Prince, snarling along in anger, they each did it, trying to maintain the ruse. Everyone just keeps stabbing each other like, oh no, they still believe us. They still believe us.
Stab, 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 stab.
Oh. But when Nikita told Dior to stab Rain, she sliced her hand with the blade and went for Nikita instead. She failed, of course. Looking to Aaron for assistance. Like, is he in on this too? We don't know. But he shakes his head imperceptibly. Nikita gives a rousing speech, and then the war horns sound.
It was very slapstick, that entire bit.
It really, really was. Just keep stabbing each other. And they're
you stab you.
Yeah, and now
you know what? You stab you. And you can stab you. Stabbing's everyone. Gabriel is learning about his father from Celine while she is simultaneously watching Dior's plan unravel, and he realises something very bad has happened. Then he calls the dusk dancers. I keep saying duck dancers.
I prefer duck dancers.
A delightful image in my head.
Duck dancers.
Some of them have got to turn into ducks. Giant ducks.
At least one.
At least one. I'll be upset if that's not the case. Then calls the dusk dancers to battle. Jean-Francois breaks the story then and has Gabriel brought down to where he is holding Celine and insists that they tell the rest of the story together so he doesn't have to go back and forth between them to determine who is lying. One's kept in the tower, another in the dungeon. I couldn't be asked to walk up and down those stairs.
Yeah, but you're a vampire.
That is very true. Jean-Francois has just been lazy. Or efficient, whichever.
Efficient, yeah.
Okay. Gabriel is given a bottle of wine and the lantern that has been next to him the entire time. The one with the moth bouncing around inside is placed next to him. The siblings continue their tale, which begins with them each praying for a miracle.
Even Gabriel, who doesn't believe in any of this shit.
Nope.
They rush toward the walls of Dunmargen, dodging cannon and trebuchet fire, but as they get closer, they hear a cry to hold. Nikita's thralled soldiers have drunk from a keg to bolster their spirits, but the drink was laced with Dior's blood, and they all became unthralled and switched sides immediately. Baptiste runs over to embrace his old friend and asks to be the one to see to Aaron. That is not what happens, though, as they approach Nikita and Aaron. Aaron hurls insults at Baptiste, who refuses to fight his lover. But then, when Aaron tries to kill Baptiste, Gabriel throws Ash Drinker, piercing him in the heart. Oh.
Unfortunately, this means that Gabriel has taken his eyes from Nikita, but then they're hit by a charge, and then Lachlan appears, his tattoos shining silver where Gabriel's are covered, burning Nikita. Lachlan brought with him the Silver Saints, who were killing their enemies left and right. While all this is happening, Celine's moth, with Dior, sees Kiara, shunned by Nikita again, releasing Dior and Rain from their cells. Unfortunately, that is when the Voss wretched arrive, led by those twins. It's also when Lily and Kane arrive. Everyone's coming at the same time. Kiara fights and kills Kane and nearly kills Lily too, but then the tables turn and Lily kills Kiara instead.
Damn. Outside.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. They were all stabbing each other just over and over.
Stab. You stab you, and you stab you, and you stab you.
That's a good ending. Outside, after much fighting amongst the Dusk Dancers and the Voss Wretched, Lachlan, Aaron, and Baptiste joining that fight, Gabriel and Selene manage to kill the Voss twins. So angry are they about the thoughts the twins are pulling from their minds. Gabriel burns one with his sanguimancy, while Selene drains the other to ash. Then Fabian Voss appears. He tries to control the siblings with his mind, but it doesn't work. He tells Gabriel that Selene killed his father, but that doesn't stop Gabriel from boiling his blood and turning him to ash too.
The battle does not stop there, but switches quickly back and forth between the attacks on Nikita and Lily. Nikita is bashed to death by Baptiste's great hammer, though Aaron is thrilled by Nikita and therefore loves both he and Baptiste. He loved Baptiste first, so he does not aid his master. Lachlan arrives and holds the ancient vampire in place as Baptiste kills him, and we cheer! Yay! Stab.
Bash. Lily follows Dior and Rain down into the chapel, reading and interpreting a verse from the Redeemer on the wall as a welcome. That's cheating. I feel like
that
it's cheating.
100%.
It's cheating.
100%.
Beneath the chapel is a tomb with a statue of the Redeemer surrounded by 5 tombstones. The full verse of the prophecy that Selene recited earlier is there. Lilith, Rain, and Dior all fight, and it looks like Rain will be able to kill Lilith using a sword from the statue coated in Dior's blood, but then she gets cocky, and the vampire fights back. Dior now thinks that Rain is dead. Dior also tries and fails, but then Lilith's wolf, Prince, arrives and helps Dior, having also been enthralled by her blood and cleverly playing along.
Yes! Good boy.
With the wolf's help, until Lilith breaks his neck, Dior is able to stab Lilith with her blood-laden sword, causing the vampire to burst into flames. Did her arms get ripped off also?
Yes.
Because if you're...
Yes.
You have... Yeah, okay.
It's unsaid. You've got to read between the lines.
Right, yeah,
but yes.
yeah. Dior uses her blood again, trying to heal Rain and Prince, but doesn't know if it'll work.
Does she have any blood left at this point? Jeez.
No.
Gabriel arrives then with Phoebe by his side and they help Dior. Not surprisingly, both Rain and Prince are both alive thanks to Dior's blood. But what is surprising is that Phoebe calls Prince Connor because he is not a wolf but a dusk dancer. Connor is Phoebe's lost husband. Carnage mostly aside and everyone mostly safe, Gabriel realises what the statues mean surrounding them and he turns rage on Celine. With the verse and seeing the five surrounding the Redeemer, he realises that everything they've been fighting for is wrong. The Redeemer was the one who created the 5 ancient vampires and gave them eternal life. And Celine knew it the whole damn time and didn't tell them, which is why Dior stormed past her moth-angry earlier. Unfortunately, the tale does not end here. Lily is still alive.
Fuck.
Somehow. And comes for Dior, breaking her neck.
Shit. Fuck.
Shit, fuck, shit. Connor attacks and rips Lily's head off, but just as he rips his heart out. Gabriel screams. Everybody's probably screaming at this point. Heads off, hearts out, necks ripped.
Also, she's on fire.
And she's on fire.
She's not...
May or may not have her arms. She's got to have her arms if she's ripping her heart out.
Yeah, and she's no longer
she
on
does it with
fire.
her feet.
She's currently not on fire, though, so it's fine.
Maybe she's
just charred.
His heart out.
Maybe. She's got talents. Gabriel disappears before Dior's funeral. And while everyone gathers to mourn San Dior, what everyone's calling her now, for her blood did save them all, Selene sits beneath them in the tomb they discovered. She mourns, though at this point in the story, Gabriel attacks her, jumping across the river that she's been trapped on the other side of this entire time and punching the silver mask that she's been forced to wear from her face. He yells at her that she is the last one of them all and she should just drown herself in the river and be done with it. But she swears she will never be done. Jean-Francois sends soldiers to get Gabriel off his sister and drag him back to his cell. The historian asks why she doesn't just end it, because with the Grail gone, there's no hope for salvation. But, there's more to their story. Let's save it for another night.
Gabriel, back in his cell, is greeted by Jean-Francois, who's angry at Gabriel for attacking Celine. He prepares to leave the Silver Saint for the night, his thrall, Dario, offering to fetch a bottle of wine for Gabriel. Jean-Francois, thinking Gabriel will take more from the thrall. Before he leaves, Gabriel tells Jean-Francois to take his spy with him, and he fetches a little mouse that the historian is able to control. Alone with Dario, Gabriel calls him by his true name, Joaquin. And the two vow to do what is next for the Grail.
What? Selene, meanwhile, catches another of Jean-Francois' mouse spies and feeds it her own blood, turning his thrall to her. She tells the little mouse that, though she did not attend the funeral of Dior, she was in the crypt below, waiting. First, Marin, the warrior of Isana, buried beneath Dunmargen, like we knew she was from the very, very beginning, wakes up, attacking Selene for sustenance. Then, also in that crypt, and not in the grave above, Dior opens her eyes. What?
Fuck my face!
Fuck my face, these books! Jesus!
That's how you end a goddamn book, goddammit!
Okay.
Alright. Let's take 30 seconds to catch our breath and start this over again.
What up, it's Jackson Ford here, author of The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind, hanging out with my Fictional Hangover family. Peace to Amanda, peace to Claire, peace to everyone listening. Greatest podcast out there. I want to tell you about my new book, The Bone Raiders. It is a fantasy novel coming out this year, August 2025. It is about a group of raiders in an alternate universe, Mongolia, who decide to stop riding horses and start riding giant fire-breathing lizards when their way of life is threatened. It's chaotic, it's action-packed, it's funny, it's ridiculous. You are going to absolutely fucking love it. The Bone Raiders, August 2025. Make sure you check that out and make sure you keep listening to Fictional Hangover. Peace.
I fucking love Jay Kristoff.
Oh, God amongst men. Any author who has his audacity has my allegiance.
Yes.
And he has audacity.
If there was a Jay Kristoff cult, I would probably join it.
100%. I think there actually is probably one.
There probably is. There really probably is. Oh, but Jesus fucking Christ, this book.
Fucking hell. The amount of times you turn the page and you're like, fuck! Fuck!
Yeah.
Fuck! And then laugh because there's a really funny scene.
Yes.
That usually involves either the word cunt or quim.
Yes.
And then you turn another page and go, fuck!
Because then everybody's stabbing each other.
Just stab.
And like,
yeah.
How many times do you think someone's dead and then, oh, they're not. There they are again.
It doesn't even follow the correct rules. There's a body. They should be dead.
Nah.
The body doesn't have a head. It should be dead. Nah.
It's fine.
It's fine. Just come back Jesus style.
Armless and
I have
on fire?
questions, though.
Yes,
I have questions.
I have questions, too. I have a whole list of questions. But can I tell you, I just want a question. Is Dior a vampire Jesus?
Potentially.
Because
yes.
she is a descendant of the Redeemer.
Yep.
And she has just come back to life.
Interesting.
Vampire Jesus.
Vampire Jesus.
Vampire Jesus.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say that the last minute Breaking Dawn Part 1 Bella style
yes.
eye-opening
Hells yes.
did it for me.
1000%. No notes. No notes.
So good.
Amazing. Okay. Gonna ask you.
Okay. Chances are I'm going to be wrong in my response.
Well, yeah, this is a little bit question. These are questions to potentially what could be happening in book 3, which is released later on in the year, so we don't have to wait too long.
In November, yes.
In November, yes. So question, hypothesis, discussion point number 1.
Uh-huh.
The moth.
Yeah, is it a red herring moth?
Gabriel's moth.
Yeah, is it a red herring?
Or is it Vampire Jesus' moth?
Right, because it's pale.
And he keeps it with him at all times. Gabriel is not acting defeated.
No.
He's not acting as if the Grail is gone. Is dead.
No.
So my hypothesis / question to you is, do you think that moth with Gabriel in the Jean-Francois scenes is the same trick that Celine did with her blood, but it's Dior?
Yeah, that was exactly one of my questions for you. So I think that we're on the same page, because Celine's moths are all like blood. blood moths.
Yes.
But this one was described as being light in color, and so... But why do we keep mentioning this fucking moth?
It's got to be something.
Unless it's a red herring, in which case it is a horrible red herring.
Yes.
So...
Because as soon as we had Celine's moth, it made me go,
oh, that's what's going on right here. Yeah.
That's got to be. So, my other question is, Gabriel and Celine are antagonising each other.
Yes.
They do not like each other.
Right.
And they don't like each other more than, regular siblings don't like each other.
Right.
However, they also work together.
Yeah.
They constantly reinforce the familial thing.
Yes.
So, when Gabriel jumps across the river, headbutts Celine and breaks the silver cage around her face, exposing her mouth.
Yeah.
Purposeful?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
It felt like they were nitpicking at each other to get to the point where they could have a physical altercation.
And no one would question it.
Yes.
Yes. I thought the exact same thing, which is conveniently another question that I had set aside to ask you. I love that we are on the same wavelength here.
Yes.
Because I don't know why. I don't know what they've got going on, but it's all a setup. The entire thing. The entire thing is going to be a setup.
100%. There's something big happening. So now my thoughts are, how do you think, if so, Dior may be communicating with Celine?
I mean, if that red herring moth is her, well, then I assume that there could be another one.
Potentially, we just don't know about it.
We just don't know about it because she's down there in the fucking caves underneath the tower.
Or Joaquin.
Could be Joaquin. Because it made me crazy because Jean-Francois was like, what's that guy's name? And Gabriel was like, his name is Dario. Like, no, it's not. You fucking liar. It's Joaquin. It's Joaquin.
Liar who lies. I think I actually screamed motherfucker when that happened.
Yeah. I definitely did, because in writing this fucking summary, friends, left out a bunch of people's names. Because, it's not important. It's just a thrall. It doesn't matter.
So many names.
Fucking shit. So I had to go back to the very beginning, because this happened on, the second to last page of the book. Had to go back and, okay, well, where can I put in his name? Oh, better include that he is called Joaquin here, too, because motherfuck. I was so pissed. God damn it.
Which is why whenever you see the rough drafts of ever some read, you'll see random names in brackets or in capital letters that we know we can remove, or scenes here that we might not include but may become relevant later on. And then he's editing out. That's so funny.
So pissed.
Oh,
same with the goddamn wolf. But I did include him. I had in brackets, is his name Prince? Do we even care? Does it matter? He's probably gonna die. I'm pretty sure I had that written.
I love the fact that the horse, right? Gabriel's horse survives to the end.
Yes.
In this one. And you didn't name him once.
I know. It's so... It's fine, though. It's fine.
It was Argent, wasn't it?
It's fine.
I'm sure the horse's name was Argent.
Well, what's he doing now?
Eating. hair.
Yes. Yeah, but I didn't name him. I didn't name him because I was afraid that he was going to get tauntauned or something, and I don't...
He probably was. The fact he survived to the end is a freaking miracle. You know
Yes.
for a fact he's going to get murdered viciously in the next book, because Jay Kristoff cannot have a horse survive that long.
Or maybe he's going to be the only one who's alive at the end.
Oh my god, he's just this one horse shitting on all the corpses.
Yes. Yeah, because the horse has
Nay.
somehow turned into a vampire and has just fucking killed everyone.
Do you think the horse is actually, like, the big bad?
Yes.
This is his villain origin story.
Yeah, uh-huh. That would be...
It's the equine villain origin story
That
we
would-
all wanted.
You know what? That would be a horrible book. Please don't do that, Jay Kristoff. I'm sure book 3 is already written. Empire of the Dawn is...
It better be, because my pre-order's already in.
Same.
He's got a lot of cover sheets to sign.
Ugh. Man, these books. I love that Phoebe was back. Because her scene in book 1, which is very glossed over in the summary because it was a horrible, horrible battle in which she was chopped in half with an axe, like straight down the chest, chopped.
But we know that doesn't stick.
I feel like it happened early on too. Nah, she's back.
Everybody loses limbs in these books,
Back,
and they're
fine.
just coming back and regrowing them.
It's fine. But she's here and she's a fucking lion.
She's a fucking legend.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's my favorite character in this one.
100%. 100%. Every
Yeah.
time she opened her mouth and was giving Gabriel shit, I was like, I fucking love you.
Yep. She's the best.
Yeah. I would
She's
like to
so
give
good.
a shout out to post-worm Rain as well. I kind of appreciated
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
And the fact that, you know, she's got... She could have a villain origin story there as well.
Fuck,
But,
yeah.
you know, her first instinct is like, yeah, we've got to save people, you know? So, shout out to her. But Phoebe, man, jeez, God, she was good.
Phoebe
She
was good.
Good.
And if everyone would please crack open your copy, she's fucking gorgeous.
Oh my God, she's stunning.
I loved all of the Dusk Dancers. All of them,
Yes.
especially their depictions in the illustrations. Like, they're
Bryn.
gorgeous.
Wow.
Yes. Bryn and her pic, like, she's got a beautiful face and she's fucking giant and then she's got bear claws.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
like the fact that she's like, yeah, you broke me jaw. Yeah, good on you.
Yeah,
Nice
it's
right
fine.
hook you got there, mate.
Yeah. And then, like, also part of her ear's ripped off. But you can't see because she has long flowing locks of hair, but she's missing part of her ear.
Yes,
It's
I
probably gonna grow back.
absolutely love the Dusk Dancers.
Yes. And there's one, and I can't remember his name. Sorry, not included in the summary. But he has a lion, like the top half of him is completely lion because they're all in various stages of shift, which is also very cool. And I think like
Yeah.
the more and more and more you do it, the more animalistic you become.
Well, Phoebe's eyes turned golden.
Yeah, Phoebe's eyes have changed colors, and like she has claws instead of fingernails. So, they're just so cool. But there's one
Yes.
illustration, and it's just like this huge fucking lion man.
Yes. You get a very like Amazonian vibe from them as well because it's a
Yeah.
matriarchal society.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and like, oh yeah, so now and again we need to go and get our, you know, husbands and stuff.
Yeah. Ugh.
It was amazing. Oh, but you know, Connor, her hubby, turns up for about 3 minutes,
Yes.
3 sentences, and then is dead.
Yes. But
And, you know, you're kind of like, wah, wah.
I'm glad that it
Don't-
happened,
Don't worry
though.
though, because Gabriel will offer comfort and
Yes.
solace.
I
and,
got
and orgasms.
I got really sad when Prince was Connor. And, like, I just imagine Gabriel over in the corner going, oh, shit.
Oh, this is awkward.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Don't say anything. Shh.
Don't. And, like, he's trying not to make eye contact with Phoebe. Like,
and she's like, oh, my husband, he's back.
Oh, he is. I love him. He's not dead after all. Here he is.
And I do love him.
I love him so much. And he's not dead.
Gabriel de Leon has a really, really member.
That was maybe one of the weirdest compliments I have ever heard.
I just
it's
think I'm very tired.
Veiny. Man, Gabriel de Leon, he's got that veiny member.
Do you know what? I read this really, really trashy Pride and Prejudice retelling, and it was dirty. It was like spice level 5.
Mm.
It's kind of in there. It's in there at the moment.
Yeah. I would like to say if Gabriel has a veiny member, and that's a good thing. There is a page, and I believe it's the same. I just need to grab it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
are you grabbing
everyone.
the veiny member?
I'm grabbing a veiny member. It's a picture, and it might be the one with the lion. Yeah, there's Bryn. Maybe it's before that. There's a picture of Gabriel, and it's from behind, and he's naked, and he's got just the littlest buns, and I just
tiniest little ears.
It's such a tiny little butt, and I feel like it's not accurate. I feel like if he has a veiny member,
veiny members and tiny buns,
like. Oh, now I can't find it. I'm never going to find it again.
On this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about
veiny members and tiny buns.
Tiny buns.
Yeah, go ahead, put that in there. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is, everyone. Here it is. Look how tiny his buns are.
They are tiny. They don't feel accurate. I mean, even if they're muscular. How does he sit down in a chair properly? He's got no butt stability.
I don't know. He's got nothing. And I feel like his butt should be... You should be able to squeeze it, but no. But also, look how
it doesn't feel like it's. Yeah.
Look how gorgeous that guy is.
Yeah.
But also,
tiny buns.
Buns.
I mean, they will be clenched because, goddamn, he's looking at that.
Yeah.
Angry
yeah.
Fella.
He's looking at that, and his veins are shrinking back up.
Yeah. But it's cold out, so it's got a weird.
Yeah, weird stuff's happening. Weird stuff is happening right now in the book and also in
this episode,
real life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aaron and Baptiste were back and alive-ish.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I did not like the scene with Nikita and Aaron. That was horrible.
No.
It was.
No. I'm not a fan of sexual assault. And that's what's happening with Nikita and everyone that he comes into contact with.
Horrible, and I'm glad he is dead.
Yep. Everybody's dead. I have a question for you. Does Selena have all the powers now? Has she eaten one of every bloodline? Does she have all of them?
I think so. I'll tell you who else has probably got all the powers now.
Vampire Jesus?
Vampire Jesus.
Vampire Jesus.
I've just got this image of her in like a Elvis-style jumpsuit.
Oh, she's definitely wearing a bedazzled suit. Definitely. She's definitely bedazzled. I don't even know what else to talk about.
Is it wrong that I found the Nikita killing the rebel scene so funny?
What, when they all kept stabbing each other, and he's like, "You stab, now you
stab." Yeah, that was just.
And Lilith's like, "No, can you please stop? Can you just please stop killing all of them? Can you please stop stabbing every single one of them?" And he's like, "Nah, stab."
One of my favourite things was when Gabriel points out to the vampires that they talk about themselves in the third person, and it's really annoying.
Yes.
I enjoyed that incredibly.
Yeah.
Did not expect Celine's point of view.
Loved
which was
that, though.
Delightful change of pace
Yes.
and scene.
Yes.
Very much loved that. I like if you go at the back of the book, there's a map that shows you Dior's journey and Gabriel's journey. My only criticism is it's a little difficult to see because the tones are, if it was in colour, it would probably be so much easier, obviously. But because it's all in grayscale, it's a little difficult to kind of pick it out properly. But I mean, who doesn't love a book with a map?
Right. And
this tracking is really good.
You know what else this book had that I really appreciated? In the beginning of it, it had a recap of all the important characters.
Yes! Yes! Oh, Gouda's escaping.
Oh, no. I've been flipping through this book the whole time to find my favorite page, and I have not come across it yet. But everyone probably remembers how much I really, really, really loved being Lythe from Empire of the Vampire, with her beautiful half ripped off face and her beautiful mask that she wears. So I did that cosplay, yes, and now here it is.
Found it.
God damn. I gotta create this. It's gotta happen. Look at her. Oh, her silver mask. It's gorgeous.
Do you know what my book has?
What?
Jay Kristoff signature.
Oh, that's so nice. I do not believe mine has that. But mine has some really fancy illustrations in the front. Does yours have this?
No, they do have them inside, just the regular ones though. No, mine's a red spray edge.
Oh, that's edition. Nice. Mine is a Barnes and Noble exclusive.
Yeah. I like the fact that I like the continuous motif as well. The Grail motif.
Yes. These books are gorgeous.
I do like the fact that there are so many variations of these books. But I do wish they would do the Spangly special edition of this one, like they did with the first one.
Yes.
They haven't, and I'm very upset by Waterstones.
It's so cool, though. It's so good. Everything about this book is amazing.
I'm trying to find that one of Phoebe. That's amazing.
Every picture of Phoebe is amazing.
Well, I mean, granted.
Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
I don't know. I feel like there's so much to talk about in it, but at the same time...
We did talk a lot about it as we were summarizing as well, though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I guess if I was surprised by anything, did we talk about that? Did we talk about that I was surprised by Vampire Jesus?
Was surprised by a little bit by Joaquin, I suppose.
Yes. I wasn't surprised that the thralls were fighting back, or presumably could have been, but I wasn't expecting Dario to be Joaquin. I just thought that he would be a regular, just another dude.
Yeah, so it was nice that it was actually a recognisable person,
a named character that you went back into the summary and named him because you feel really stupid because of the last fucking page. Wait, that's just me?
That's just
me?
you.
That's just me.
You're the only one who have dared to take on that behemoth of a task.
Yep.
Oh, see, that one of Celine as well is beautiful.
Yes. Oh, so good. These books are gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've necessarily got like a big surprise because it's Jay Kristoff. Like,
right, everything's a surprise.
Expect everybody to be murdered.
And then brought back to life. And then Prob's murdered again.
It says here, he is 6'7", bloody hell, and approximately 11,000 days to live. He does not believe in happy endings. Gee. Quelle surprise.
Yeah, why? And it's very obvious why Amanda loves him so much. Because
amazing.
I also don't love a happy ending.
I do wonder, though, is Melaine one of the other thralls? You know, the one who keeps looking at Gabriel. I fucking hate you. But, you know, take my neck. Oh, my blood.
Yeah,
Is
I know.
she enthralled as
I
well?
don't know.
You got to question everybody.
Yes. Everything
So
is a question.
So many. Let's move on. Because otherwise you're just going to be like, but this.
Yes.
I did enjoy the Lord of the Rings Siege of Helm's Deep style feel to it, except we were on the Uruk-hai side, but not the Uruk-hais because we're the good guys.
Right. Should we move on to favorite final thought quote and then also just quote the entire book?
Oh God, we'll be here for at least 32 hours.
Yeah. 38 if you're my version of the book.
Depends if you want the additionals.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Gabrielle or Selene?
Oh, but I love both of them. So
you can only have one.
Oh.
Right.
We're not at Would You Rather yet. Excuse me.
No, I'm going to give you approximately, at last count, 9 quotes.
Okay. I don't know how many I have.
I counted, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Famille is not always blood.
Oh, so true.
Maths is a bastard.
Also true.
Here's one for the Fictional Hangover superfans. What's the point of potatoes?
There's so many potato mentions in this book.
Yes. Phoebe stalked around the fire, clutching her arm, mumbling a string of blasphemy so vile you could have dressed it in a red robe and called it a cardinal. I think I literally read that line as the new pope was being declared or something like that. It was like, oh, that's timely. It's only through failing that we teach ourselves to fly. Our measure be not in how many times we stumble, but of how oft we rise. Failure is how we learn. Oh, okay. It's not the size of the dog in the fight that matters, but the size of the fight in the dog. Son of a rat-fiddling, goat-sucking, pig-fucking whore!
So many.
One of many good curses. Jay Kristoff is a master of curses.
Yeah, he really is.
And last one. There are always fucks to give for fashion. Which would also have been appropriate for the Prince and the Dressmaker episode.
Yes, exactly. If we took that one to another level. That one was real cute,
No, I've got one more. I've got one more.
Okay.
The folk I held dearest were always the ones I quarrelled with hardest. Folk who weren't afraid to slap me out of my bullshit or tell me I was being an arse. There's no friend under heaven like an honest one.
Oh, very good.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to stop now.
Okay.
Pass over.
Okay. Stop. The very first one. It just made me so happy that it was even said. I was inside a horse at the time. That was her birthday, everyone. That was Dior's birthday. She was inside a horse. I'm a villain when I need to be. Oh. A life without books is a life not lived, Dior. There's a magic like no other to be found in them. To open a book is to open a door to another place, another time, another mind. Like, oh, fuck, you love books too? God, Gabriel. Oh, wipe the drool off my chin. Okay. This is part of a conversation, so I should send ye straight to hell, cold blood. She responds, I have been there, Silver Saint. Would you like to know how it tastes?
Yes, actually I do. Tell me.
Oh, there's lots of really good Selene quotes. This one I'm taking from a big, nice, big chunk. I look upon you and feel the blood in my veins boil for the hate of you.
Yes. That is so, like, appropriate.
Yes.
Right now.
Okay. So, if you trust not in my word, trust in my hate.
Ugh. Oh, you can get your teeth into these, can't you?
Oh. The right book is worth 100 blades.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
It does.
On a sampler.
Yes.
It needs to be a mural on a wall.
Yes, yes. I feel like it's an open book with a bouquet of blades in it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
Ignorance is a chasm, and knowledge is the bridge. If you're not being challenged, you're not learning anything. If you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong fucking room.
Yes. I love that one.
Yes. This one's really long and I love it. But don't you see? We don't get broken. We're made broken. We are not whole alone. But if we're blessed, if we're brave, we might find those few whose edges fit against our own, like pieces of the same puzzle or shards of the same shattered blade. Those people who, in their own broken way, make our broken edges complete. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And then, me too.
Right.
Now the last one, because that one was really, really sweet, and I've got to ramp it back up here. The goddesses ruined a perfectly good asshole when they put teeth in your mouth, didn't they?
Fucking love that quote. I had that quote. I had that picture of that one as well. It was like, I literally had to stop and laugh and then go, partner, listen to me as I say this. And then he started laughing.
Oh, okay. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough quotes. So now that means it's time for Would You Rather. Pew, stab.
We asked on social media, would you rather stay inside a burning house or leave only to face a hungry vampire? And 100% across the board, everywhere that we asked said, face a hungry vampire.
Obviously, because everyone that we ask loves vampires as much as we do.
All vampires, all the time.
Vampires, all the time.
Make vampires evil again.
Make vampires evil again. It's got to be on a hat. I'm doing it.
It's got to be.
Don't let me forget.
I can't. Comments. Coral on Facebook said, vampire, save me from this burning house so we can have dinner and fly into the night and live happily ever after.
Katrina on Facebook says, definitely face a hungry vampire. Fire is terrifying. Plus, I've read enough vampire romance where I feel like I could stand a chance. Maybe my blood makes him fall in love instantly. Or the opposite, and my blood is so disgusting he pushes me in the bushes and goes looking for a new victim. Don't push you into the bushes.
Headzilla on Thread said, leave. Burning houses have a tendency to be a terminal situation, whereas hungry vampires, while dangerous, can be avoided / killed / seduced. Even if they do attack, they might have a sudden surge of guilt and then take it upon themselves to turn you into an immortal creature of the night, thus allowing you to have sexy times with all sorts of interesting people, which is the main advantage of being a vampire. Also, I would also like the opportunity to shout, BAT!
Emily on Facebook said, I would go for a hungry vampire for the simplest of reasons. I don't want to be in a burning house, period.
No notes. Author C.I. Ingram on Instagram said, easy face the hungry vampire. I have a chance there. I'm not fireproof. And the books I read with hungry vampires are End Differently.
Ooh. Finally, Bree Tart on Instagram says, this is a surprisingly easy decision for me. Take the hungry vampire. You can fight off a vamp, but you can't do that with a burning house.
Logical. I like it.
Definitely.
I like the fact that everybody's thirsty for vampires.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously.
Obviously.
There's not even a point in us answering this question.
No.
So we'll just move on to another one. Would you rather be able to turn into a wolf, a lion, or a bear?
Bear. A bear, so I can have the cutest little cuddly ears, but rip your face off.
Yeah.
And a bear could take either a lion or a wolf in a fight. It's proven scientifically. One swipe of a bear claw, it's gonna rip the fucking face off.
Yeah.
Hard fact.
I think I'm gonna go with lion. I feel like a lion is faster than a bear.
Oh, definitely, lion is faster than the bear, but
Yeah.
the bear is stronger. It will take. They used to do, back in the animal fighting pit days, and the bears won 100% of the time.
Yeah, because bears are amazing.
Bears, well, yeah, and plus, I just really want to get a tree and just scratch me back on a tree.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
You know?
But see, if I was a lion, cats rub themselves on stuff all the time to scratch. So
And
I can
just think of the
just so many
naps as a
naps.
lion as well.
Yeah. I don't really want to be a wolf. I don't have any desire to be a wolf.
No. I feel like it's obvious. It's a bit stereotypical.
Yeah.
Change to an animal, you've obviously changed to a wolf. No, actually, change to a motherfucking bear.
Yeah, and a motherfucking lion.
Yeah. Would you rather be imprisoned in a tower or in a dungeon?
Dungeon.
Ooh. Do you have a river in your dungeon as well?
Yes. Yeah, I do. It's just for the same reason that I always pick everything underground. I feel safer underground than I do high up in the air.
Yeah, I'm going to go dungeon for the aesthetic and the atmosphere of it all.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's drippy.
Yeah.
And there's like good acoustics probably.
Oh, I'm going to sing the shit out of being in there, and I cannot sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tower's just so... Yeah.
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 Dunno. Okay. Not quite what we almost asked each other earlier, but would you rather hear Gabriel's story or Celine's? And who do you think is telling the truth? Is anybody telling the truth?
No.
Nah, dog. Nah, dog.
No. The truth is what we're not being told.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go Gabriel's story just for the very colourful and sassy language / interactions / insults. Like, he has banter.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the banter. Like, there's entire pages where it's just calling each other, like, wank truffle, cock wombler, fuck weasel, twat goblin, cunt, and all that kind of stuff. I've never heard the word quim used quite so much other than Jay Kristoff, and with Gabriel's story as well.
Yeah.
Whereas Celine's is much more...
It's preachy.
Preachy, and I can't be arsed with evangelical bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm choosing Gabriel's for that reason.
It's too serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Gabriel's story. Gabriel's
much
story
better
for me.
storyteller.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate Celine's side.
Yeah.
So thank you for Celine for sharing your story.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. You've just gone to Dunmargen. Sieged. Phoebe's on one side, Gabriel is on the other. You have your stabby stab, hammer, weapon of choice. Mm-hmm. Would you rather try to kill Nikita or Lily?
Nikita. Hands down, Nikita. He's worse. He's worse. He's horrible.
Oh,
he also made everyone stab each other 1,000 times, which was hilarious. But, like, how many times did she ask him to stop? And he's like, worry not.
We'll get there.
No. I've done... And
The description of what's in the room as well.
Ah.
The carnage.
Yeah. And just assaulting Aaron. Not okay.
No, not at all. And the way he would probably assaulted Dior in the bath as well.
Ooh, yeah. Gross.
Yeah.
No.
He's just
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take greater satisfaction in killing him over her, though I would enjoy both.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But okay.
I will join you with that.
All right. If you liked this, try this. There's nothing that can compare.
Well, no, but yes. I have not read it because it is a very brand new release.
Okay.
And I bought this for hubby.
Mm-hmm.
Because he fucking loves Joe Abercrombie.
Okay.
And Joe Abercrombie and Jay Kristoff may have been separated at birth in terms of what they put their characters through.
Okay.
And it is vampire related, so it's not even hashtag tenuous link.
Nice. It's
got lovable assholes, everybody wants to die, the author wants all of his characters to die and be tortured at the same time. And it's the devils. And if you've seen some of the very, very pretty sprayed edge and special edition covers, it's a very pretty book. So I'm excited to read this one as well. Every time he reads a Joe Abercrombie, I get told off for not having read Joe Abercrombie yet. So it's The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. It's literally just come out. I don't even know if it's out in the US yet. It might have just come out. It only came out a week or two ago over here. So the summary is, Europe stares into the abyss. Plague and famine stalk the land. Monsters lurk in every shadow, and greedy princesses care for nothing but their own ambitions. One thing is certain. The elves will come again, and they will eat everyone. Only the darkest path leads towards the light. A path the righteous will not dare to tread. And so, deep beneath the sacred splendour of the celestial palace lies the secret chapel of the holy expediency. For its congregation of convicted monsters, there are no sins that have not been committed, no lines that will not be crossed, and no missions that cannot be turned into a disastrous bloodbath. When you're headed through hell, you need the devils on your side. How good does that sound?
Very good.
So I'm very much looking forward to reading that one. I feel like it's very much up our path. So yeah, there you go. The Devils. And it's from Joe Abercrombie's website, the little summary.
Nice.
What have you got?
I have not read this one either. I found this one on a Reddit thread.
Cool.
For what am I even going to possibly read that can compare to Empire of the Vampire? So this one is called Gods and Monsters. This is book number 1 in a series, The Book of Azrael.
Nice.
By Amber V. Nicole. World Ender meets Ender of Worlds. 1,000 years ago, Diana gave up her life in the deserts of Eoria to save her dying sister. She called upon anyone who would listen, not expecting a monster far worse than any nightmare to answer. Now she does what Caden asks, even if that means securing an ancient relic from the very creatures that hunt her. A king thought long dead and long forgotten. In the old world, his name was Samkiel. In the new world, it is Liam. But one title remains true throughout time. He is the World Ender, a myth to his enemies, a savior and king to those loyal to him. After the gods' war, he locked himself away, hiding from the world. He denied his crown and responsibilities, leaving the very ones who needed him most to deal with the fallout of the death of their homeworld. Now, an attack on those he holds dear sends him back to the one realm he never wished to visit again, and into the sights of an enemy he thought imprisoned eons ago. Now, enemies older than time must put aside their differences and work together in hopes of saving both their world and every realm in between.
Oh.
It sounds very epic, which definitely
That sounds
a good
really
fit.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, got some good picks this week.
Yeah.
Do we have a good new entity spotlight that we can even compare?
We do. This one, actually, I got an arc of this one not too terribly long ago. It's called Heir of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray, and this one comes out in just a couple weeks on June 2nd. The very day Blaze came into the world, she almost drowned it. A rain singer born into one of the most powerful fire-wielding families in the Empire, Blaze's birth summoned a devastating storm that left thousands dead. She's been hidden away ever since with a dark secret. The same torrential power that branded her an outcast disappeared that fateful day, and she's not sure she wants it back. When an unexpected invitation arrives for Blaze and her twin brother Flint to compete as future rulers of the Empire, she's suddenly thrust into the limelight again, and into battle. Threats abound at the Golden Palace, where intrigue and romance await, with not one, but two handsome suitors, the enchanting crown prince and a dangerously alluring newcomer at court. As Blaze explores her untapped power, she discovers the throne may be within her grasp, but in order to take it, she'll have to leave behind the stories that others have told about her and find the courage to write her own.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah. So many good tales this week.
Yes. And all dark and full of death. And...
Yes, they are.
Stop. And dead people.
Yeah. And not dead people. And
not dead people.
Armless, flaming people.
I just keep thinking that look like candles.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's very Nero.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's the end of this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Timeless Parasol Protectorate, Book the 5th by Gail Carriger. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover-themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com and follow us on all social media at Fictional Hangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for listening.